Hey everyone, Wanderbots here, and welcome back to Kingdoms of Amalur. Let's go talk to Agarth, and then let's go see about this dude, who's just up ahead.
Agarth in a while.
Actually, you know what?
You need to save.
Yeah, I should save. It's been a while since I've saved. In fact, I think we were still doing House of Valor when we saved.
Mm-hmm.
There's got to be a way through here. Any luck finding Ventrinio and his big secret? And it looks like they're not far behind you. If you were anyone else, I'd try to stop you. As it is, I'll just wish you good luck. This can't end here.
I like it that we're just like... I don't know.
It looks like Aelin and Ventrinio are traveling down the path.
Well, I mean, he's got short, stubby little gnomish legs. It takes a while to run.
Sometimes one soldier can do what an entire army cannot.
You haven't tried going in there, have you? No, of course you haven't. You're still alive. This took a little longer to find than I had hoped, but it should be exactly what you need. Dren had a twin in the Summer Court, Dith the Defender of Valor. They were both entirely immune to each other's power. She faded when the House of Valor fell, but my early experiments with the Well of Souls provided a quite useful little surprise. You see, when trying to draw life energy from the ether, I captured her essence and bound it into this charm. With this, you will be immune to Dren's power.
The House of Valor?
It's not as powerful as it used to be, and it's specific to Dren. But it'll let you face him and live.
House of Valor, there are 4 houses in the Court of Summer and 4 houses in the Court of Winter. They kind of explained this a couple episodes ago.
But what was the whole arena thing that we just did?
Mm-hmm. So, the arena...
Oh, right, the House of Valor died and the humans took over the arena.
Yeah, they died, but they died after the humans took over. What's his face? Magnus came in there, and the Fae were like, oh yeah, we'll let a mortal compete. They can't compete against us. And Magnus wiped the floor with all of them. They all, like, every challenger died, including their indomitable champion.
Okay, so we're going to use her soul?
Now, be fair. Fae don't have souls as mortals do. They are a form of magic with a physical form. And I only got a little of it anyway. Just enough for a certain degree of immunity to Dren's power. It only works for one person, but it'll be enough for you to reach him. Trouble is, he'll be immune to your power as well. But I'm sure you can think of something. Now, go show that...
Okay. I don't know if I have to equip it or not, so I'm going to save again.
Defender, what a little
because
what would it be?
I mentioned I had been doing a lot of side quests, right?
And you came upon this dude and he murdered you.
Mm-hmm. He murdered me hard.
Turn back or die. Then you shall die like the others before you. I made an oath to protect my house and my homeland. No power short of death can keep me from fulfilling my duties. I know your intentions are to free my people from the Tuatha. You seem an honorable sort. You even bear the blessing of my sister. But I have sworn an oath to defend my house and homeland. I cannot let you in without a fight, and you cannot win against me. If only things could be different. If only the Tuatha were gone and my sister was back.
Well, you have the Essence of Valor.
Okay, so the thing about Dren is, now I'm immune to his damage. Which, yeah, I've got the Essence of Valor. See that, like, blue symbol?
What about your magic?
Now,
Why don't you use that against him?
Enough.
What?
We could fight each other until the mountains wear away, but that will aid nothing. My sister and I were chosen to protect our kind. So long as our houses stood, the Fae would never pass from this world. I in pride, and she in valor. We never imagined that our houses could crumble beneath our feet. Mortals led to the collapse of my sister's house, but with Gadflow's help, they shall not have mine. He may taint pride with his Prismere and his obscene god, but it will keep us eternal. Before I knew the truth of Tuatha, I swore to keep my homeland safe from invaders. I could never have known what my people would become. Fae never change, and Pride's honor never yields. I cannot yield, but if your true intent is to stop Gadflow, then perhaps there is a way my house and my honor could remain pure. If you would promise to spare the House of Pride, then we could put aside our powers and have an honest battle. Win, and your army may pass.
Pride will stand. I'm not going to do this just because
Yeah.
it actually seems dishonorable.
I thank you. Destroy the Tuatha in my house and the hateful witch knight Myrna. Then we can be free. Now release my sister's essence, and I shall relent my own powers. Let us face each other as equals, and see who is truly worthy of victory.
So, normally, if you are fighting Dren without his sister's essence, he comes up and stabs you 3 times and you die. It's unblockable and largely just ridiculous. I really did not enjoy just running across it. It's like, oh, it's just an enemy I can fight. Nope. Goddamn monster. That's what he was. And, like, you could actually do damage to him, and if you're truly good at, like, blocking and dodging and whatnot, you might have actually been able to take him out. But I really didn't want to spend the time trying to do that, because that was like some Dark Souls level of nonsense.
Yeah, I remember coming across sort of like a mini boss in a game once, and it was an MMO, so you would need, I think, 3 or 4 people to actually face it, and I actually almost killed it, and then I couldn't replicate the same, like, combos and working around it like I had the first time, so I just couldn't get even close to beating it again. It's just like, ah.
Apparently we can go into the House of Pride. I'm going to quick save and go inside. Oh,
You did it! You actually beat him! Guess I owe Ventrinio a drink.
was he betting against us?
Oh, wait, did we just actually kill the guy who cried? Aww.
A promise is a promise, and the Witch Knights of Pride would be powerful allies to have on our side. I'll send a few soldiers along to help. Meanwhile, I'll get the other troops ready to move into Alabastra once that gate opens.
Yeah, so
Get that gate
what we
open,
have to
and
do
the army
is
will be
essentially
ready
just
to
charge
go.
in and take out the leader, who I believe is, like, corrupted by the Tuatha.
With you here, we can't lose.
But I guess there are a number of members of the House of Pride that are totally okay with this now that we killed their defender. And then there's a bunch of
Some
Tuatha
odd-
on the inside.
Some odd honor thing.
Yeah.
I really wish they...
You could kill a lot of NPCs without... Well, not kill them, you could defeat them without killing them. Yeah, that'd be
Right.
nice.
I know, like, get them to their last leg of health, and then they stop the battle and say, you know, I submit.
But
and
here's the thing.
will aid you.
If he's from the House of Pride and he says, like, their pride is
Pride
eternal.
dictates only
Yep.
life or death.
It's kind of pleasant that my greatsword does, like, half of their health in one swing. I guess not pleasant so much as just, like, makes things go a lot faster than it used to be. Look at these guys, they're wimps. Dead. Tally-ho.
Looks like they're not helping you anymore.
That's okay. I really didn't need them anyway. Look at him, he's almost dead. I just have to hit him one more time.
I
There we go.
still wonder about where our character came from and the whole, you know, how is Aelin involved?
I think if anyone's going to tell us who we were, it would be Aelin, I bet, at this point. Because nobody else seems to even know who we were.
Bleed, mortal!
So, maybe she's actually like a Tuatha plant or something like that. And has been like not tracing us, but like following us this entire time. That could be kind of interesting.
And what's up with this whole, like, them saying that Tirnoch is going to be mortal? Well, not mortal, but brought into a physical body.
Maybe that's supposed to be us?
Us?
Yeah.
I mean, it would be odd if we were their god, that'd be insane.
Well, I mean, we've returned. We're the only mortal to have returned from the dead. We came here. We were special. We are now fateless, and we seem to have some extra powers beyond just normal. I don't know. I'm just doing like wild conjecture at this point, but I would not put it past like Gadflow's ambitions to use us as a vessel.
I wonder,
either that or himself.
I wonder if you're playing a male character, if it would be a god that they'd refer to.
Interesting
like
question.
Tyrnok. Also, Tyrnok in and of itself isn't a very feminine name.
Nope.
So I almost wouldn't be surprised if...
Yeah, Tyrnok was actually supposed to be male, but if you're playing a female character, Tyrnok is suddenly... Oh wait, wrong way.
I don't know. I mean, we haven't been reading any wiki stuff, really, so we wouldn't know.
I read a little bit about the House of Valor.
Parley in honor of if you would be so kind as to have a word with us. I have been chosen by the remaining members of our house to speak for all. We were most honored by your intention to free us. We are in seclusion, so it's best to observe this situation without any unnecessary interference or risk to ourselves. I assure you, we will be more than happy to assist you in Alabastra. Simply carry forth and destroy Witch Knight Myrna, who has so commandeered our house, and her dreadful Prismere Chantry, of course. We are sure you'll have no problem finding her, or defeating her. We eagerly anticipate your success.
That was kind of random, honestly.
So you just clear out the Tuatha in the house, and then they're
Yeah.
like, yep, can you kill this evil, witch?
Just like you were intending to.
Wait, she's right in here?
Yep, easy peasy.
Another mortal from the
Well,
fire.
let's just give her the good old wallop. I like how she...
Mortal. That's
Mortal,
what everyone
mortal.
says. It's always amusing how when there's an immortal race, they just instantly have bad perceptions of anything that's mortal because they're like, oh, they don't have the wisdom or the time.
Yeah, they're all
to...
judgy and shit. It's annoying. It's like, I don't know. I like the immortals that are just like, they've lived so long they've stopped being serious about everything. As opposed to like your elf type people who are just like, herder, we are mystical.
Well, they always say various comments like, you know, when you were but a babe, I was, you know, doing this, or 1,000 years before you were even born.
Yeah, just completely ridiculous. And, I mean, it kind of makes sense, but I think if I was like
age demands respect to some degree, but...
But if, like, I was an extremely long-lived race, I think after the first, like, 100 years, I'd probably stop being completely serious and just be like, yeah, you know what, I'm just gonna go screw around for a while. I'm, like, 7,000 years old. I'm gonna go play darts for the next 100 years.
Nah. I mean, think of all that you could learn and see in that time.
But that would be the point. Like, after a certain point, there would be...
Little to do.
Oh, Gadflow again. I mean, there would be plenty to do, but it would be like... You'd still have mastered a lot of the fine basics. Like, yeah, you'd have to, like, read up on...
I mean, it would have been awesome to have seen the world, you know, a couple thousand years ago, evolving into this. Like, that's... insane amount of time.
Awesome or
Well
upsetting?
done, child of dust. You've killed the immortal defender and liberated a house full of arrogant backstabbers. I should thank you for exposing the disloyal amongst my kin. But then, I have so much to thank you for. Pride? Their betrayal was inevitable. But soon you faced the House of Vengeance, and their loyalty to Tyrnok is absolute. Pure. Instinct. The goddess of mercy awakens, and with every step you take into my homeland, she comes that much closer to walking our world and purging your kind. So, welcome to Alabastra. It shall be the death of you once more.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody to talk to before we head out the door. I don't know if that's supposed to be a secret door or just a normal door. It's a normal door.
It's a normal door.
Alright, who do you think it is? Aelin?
No, the guy that was gonna...
Oh, right, the Knave of Pride.
We have seen our champion bested, our advantage lost, and our minds are cleared. Bravo to you, champion. House of Pride, in our ineffable wisdom, renounces the Tuatha and demands that you accept our immediate surrender. Your army is welcome here. We trust our benevolence will be well remembered should Gadflow be dethroned. We thank you kindly, and our mages have already been assisting your army in their march into Alabastra. We trust you do not object. Most excellently spoken. You have the commanding presence of a young Aegon, who once also bore the pleasure of our august company. Allow us to welcome you to Alabastra. We trust your visit will be eventful.
Hey! Unstoppable force. More damage. More gold.
How Gadflow came to command such respect is beyond even our wisest. He was little more than a jester at the Winter Court. But he said he found the voice of Tirnoch, and she led him to power. And it seems he was correct. Prince Sidon is a Fae of noble tradition. He would never raise a hand against the High King, just as he would never bow before the Tuatha. As the Fae are above mortals, the House of Pride reigns above their fellow Fae, sharing our wisdom, our grace, and our humility. Myself, this one is merely the lowest ranked of our house, and yet we have been chosen as the speaker for the Fae of Pride. To us falls the honor of acting as liaison to your mortal army. Your charming, well-bred, and simply lovely army.
I have a feeling he's forcing that.
Mm-hmm. No, it felt like he was... Well, I mean, go figure. They're the House of Pride. Of course, they're going to be extremely prideful. And being bested...
They can't give compliments.
And then liberated... yeah, they can't give very good compliments. But I think they're also just kind of embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So...
Alabastra.
Yeah, welcome to the last section of the game, at least the main story, that I've never been to.
Music is nice.
So, we're actually going to have to be hoofing it a lot.
The House of Pride opened its gates and welcomed us as honorary champions. They say it's simple hospitality, but I suspect we have you to thank. Now is the difficult part. We can hold Cluracan, even push a little into Alabastra, but we don't have the forces to mount a siege on Gadflow. Once the House of Pride gives their word, they'll never break it. At least, not while it looks like we're winning. Our real problem is that we can't march the army through Alabastra. Not in formation, at least. This will call for smaller groups. Alabastra is a maze of valleys. Gadflow's remaining faithful would spot an army moving together, and the valleys would be the death of us. But where an army would fail, the 5 of us can triumph. If we split up, we can travel faster and catch them unaware. We will at the House of Vengeance, on Gadflow's doorstep. From there, we strike at Bale, the heart of his empire. The Fae of House Vengeance has always embraced their anger. Before Gadflow, they accepted it and controlled it. Now they wield it like a pair of swords. When mortals were welcomed into the Faelands, Vengeance already despised us as interlopers. When Gadflow declared war, they were already on his side. I'm sure you know more about it than I do. After all, you were here last. That's where we'll find Gadflow, and where we'll put an end to this whole war. I hope you're ready. This time.
Now everyone's shoving it in your face. You died here.
More than you'd think. But I promise I'll explain it all to you. Maybe once Gadflow's dead.
Either that or
She
it'd be
is-
crazy if she was
I'll see you in
Tyrnok.
Alabastra.
I was actually thinking that a while
Hope you've
back,
got better
but
luck
then I
this
was
time.
like, I don't know.
Seems unlikely. Technically possible, but unlikely.
Because why would she want the death of her followers? Unless, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Interesting questions. I'm sure whenever we get to it, it'll just be like, oh.
It'll either be or it'll just be a disappointing Tyrnok.
It'll either be or It would be kind of interesting to see. All right, so at this point, I'm just running around looting stuff, and I think this is a great stopping point. So, we will see you guys on the next episode of Kingdoms of Amalur. Oh, look, more side quests. Yay. And at this point, I'm not even doing the side quests anymore. There's barely any meaning to it. Probably should, but I haven't.
What level are you at?
36. We'll be 40 by the end of the game. Alright,
That's max.
Wanderbots away!
But you and I need to have a talk first. I've been reviewing my notes of our last trip to Alabastra, and I've come to some startling conclusions about your death and Tyrnok.
Ooh, what about Tyrnok?
I don't know exactly, but it must have been a tremendously powerful source of magic. So powerful that the Well of Souls couldn't help but pick up on it. You were attuned to the well in my lab, but Hugh's well captured your essence. The power in Bale seems to have been the missing element. What's more, I think that power is the source of the Prismere crystals. Something intelligent and malignant. The creature the Tuatha called Tyrnok. Something incredibly powerful. I don't know if we even have a name for what she is, because no one's lived to name it. She's not a god. She's something much, much worse. And judging by the growth of this Prismere, she's very close to coming into our world for good. Whatever Gadflow's been doing, it's all in order to bring her here. So you've got to stop him before it's too late. With tremendous difficulty. Even so, there weren't as many Tuatha here, and we used magic to keep us hidden. Magic which you provided, in fact. You never did explain where you got those fascinating little artifacts.
Convenient.
We were in Alabastra, and I never thought it'd be dangerous. At least, not very. Oh, don't give me that look. Accidents happen. You can't make an omelette without leaving a few corpses.
Cooking with Ventrinio. Watch as he murders all of his producers, camera crew, and then tries filming everything by himself. He makes the most delicious of omelets.
Tyrnok isn't a god. No god has ever commanded that much magic directly. Whatever she is, she must be amazingly powerful. I can see why Gadflow would worship her. Imagine controlling that much raw magic. Octane, the man lacked vision. Can you believe all he wanted was his own personal immortality machine? Such a narrow-minded goal for a Templar. Still, he wasn't squeamish about what had to be done in order to develop the well. I suppose he paid well, too, if you'd consider that any reason to pursue the sciences.
He's too short.
Yep. Alright. Continuing on. Sorry about cutting off the first half of that conversation, more or less.
You were running
You said
around.
that Agarth was tailing, what's-her-face, and that, yeah, talk to us about our death. Nothing pretty important, but I figured I'd record it anyway. Anyway, on to the actual main stuff.